Welcome to Bluewater and another tutorial video. This time we will take you through how to change the membrane on a Bluewater Spirit. For this procedure, you will need the Bluewater toolkit, which can be purchased from your national distributor. Inside this kit, you have all the needed tools for service. Begin by removing the front lid and removing the screws located beneath the pre-filter. Continue with removing the two screws holding the front cap in place. Lift the front cap off its position by pulling upwards and towards yourself. Continue the operation with the two screws located behind the front cap. Once these are removed, we will move on with the 6 screws on the back of the machine. As a final step, we will gently twist the panel outwards and upwards. We will now continue with removing the motor assembly, which is started by pulling out the electrical connections on the motor. Push the white electrical socket upwards and then pull outwards and remove to the side. Take the locking ring plier and remove the 2 locking rings on the driving wheel assembly. Remove the driving wheels by pulling upwards with your hands. We are now to remove the 4 screws holding the motor assembly in place on top of the unit. Once the last screw is removed, make sure to hold on to the assembly as it will tilt forward. You can now lift the full assembly upwards. The next step is to remove the drain valve. This is done by using the John Guest tool in the toolkit. Push outwards to release. Continue with loosening the hoses to both the pressure regulator valve and the inlet valve. We will continue with loosening the locking rings holding the pump in place on top of the membrane vessel. To loosen pressure, use the locking ring plier to force the 2 pieces apart. Pull the 2 pieces apart by hand and pick them out. Lift up the membrane and pump by hand. Remove the yellow tape holding the pump and membrane together. Lift the pump off of the membrane and take out your new membrane. You can now also discard of your old membrane. Inside the bag, you will receive new O-rings and a new plastic enclosure for the pump. We will begin by changing these parts on the pump. Remove the 3 screws inside the pump head to change the plastic enclosure. Insert the new enclosure and reattach the 3 screws. If the O-ring on the membrane vessel looks okay, don't change it. Otherwise, change with a complementary new one. Make sure you have the right direction on the membrane. The part with a stop should be facing upwards. Put the pump back in place, and we will now reapply the membrane tape. This is done in a clockwise pattern and by holding a firm grip of the tape and membrane. Do a minimum of 3.5 turns by holding constant pressure. Make sure to have as little creases as possible when doing this. Once done, cut the tape. Reinsert the membrane to the membrane vessel carefully as to not damage it. Make sure the pump aligns correctly with the membrane vessel as in the video. Reinsert the 2 locking clips around the pump head. These are to be perfectly aligned before tightening with the 2 screws. Make sure the 2 brackets are flush towards each other once you are done. Do a final tightening on both sides when you see that the 2 brackets are flush. Reinsert the drain valve by pushing it onto the pump. Reinsert the hoses to the pressure regulator and the inlet valve. You can now put the motor assembly back and screw the 4 top screws in place. Put the driving wheel assembly back in place. The large wheel goes in the front. Gently put the driving belt on. Reapply the safety locking clips on both wheels using the safety locking plier. Put the white electrical socket back in its place by aligning it with a hole and pushing downwards. Also, reinsert the 3 electrical connections. Align the cover with the 2 upper holes and push the panel in place. We start with the 2 screws behind the front cap, and then we will place the cap back in place. Continue with the 2 screws below the pre-filter, and then finish off with the 2 screws holding the front cap in place. We can now also put the front lid in place. To finish off the hardware parts of this service, let's do the final touches with the 6 screws on the back of the machine. Your membrane is now changed, and we will end by putting the machine in a clean flush. This is to flush the new membrane and calibrate the sensors. Start by holding the service button while plugging in electricity. Hold the button until the service light comes on. Then release the button. You have now entered the clean flush function, which will take 36 minutes. During this, you will see a wandering pattern on the machine, and it is important that the pure water valve or faucet is open during all times. Once done, all lights will blink simultaneously. Hold the service button for 1 second to validate, and then the machine is ready to be used. You're now done with your clean flush, and the machine is once more ready to be used. As always, do a check for leakages both inside and outside of the machine. And thank you for choosing Bluewater.